שנה הלכה, שנה באה, אני כפי ארימה. שנה טובה לך אבא, שנה טובה לך אמא. שנה טובה, שנה טובה.
שנה הלכה, שנה באה, אני כפי ארימה. שנה טובה לך אבא, שנה טובה לך אמא. שנה טובה, שנה טובה.
Rosh Hashana, the Jewish New Year, comes in the first 2 days of Tishrei, the first month of the Jewish year. But it is such an important holiday that we have been thinking, Rosh Hashanah is coming, for a whole month before that. In the temple, we blow a special horn called the shofar, which reminds us that Rosh Hashanah is almost here, and we say prayers to God as we wait for this important holiday. During Rosh Hashanah, we think about ourselves and try to be even better people than before. We pray to God to inscribe us for a good and healthy year. Rosh Hashanah is the birthday of the world, and we celebrate it by trying to make the world a better place to be in. At home, we dip the special Rosh Hashanah round challah in honey, and we also dip apples in honey. We send pretty New Year's cards to each other, wishing everyone a happy New Year.
הקיץ עבר החום הגדול, שנה חדשה באה להכל, רוחות מנשבות נודדות, ציפורים הולכים ובאים, הימים הקרים הולכים ובאים, הימים הקרים.
The summer has gone, the long days and the heat, and New Year is here, and I am so big. The wind is blowing and the birds fly away. The cold days are here, and the New Year is here. The cold days are near, and the New Year is here.
Rosh Hashanah is the world's birthday. The birthday of the world? What could that be? It is the beginning of everything when the whole world was created by God. That story of creation is told in our Torah. It is the very first story in the Torah, and this is how it starts. In the beginning, when God began to create the heaven and the earth, nothing was there at all. The earth was unformed, and darkness hung over the face of the deep. But then something happened. A wind from God blew over the face of the dark waters, and God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. Do you remember a time when you saw light coming through the darkness? All the light in the world came from that very first light that God created. It was not the light of the sun, but the pure white light of God's holiness. God saw that the light was good, and it was evening and it was morning, the end of the first day of God's creation. Then God said, "Let there be a place in the middle of the waters. It will separate the waters above from the waters below." And it was so. The place above the waters, God called the sky. Now imagine that you are in the middle of a huge ocean, surrounded by water on all sides. That's what the whole earth looked like then. And there was evening, and there was morning, the second day of God's creation. Then God said, "Let the waters below the sky be gathered into one place, so the dry land can appear." And it was so. The dry land appeared. God called the dry land earth, and the gathering of the waters God called the oceans. And God saw that all this was good. But the earth was empty ground. So God said, "Let the earth be covered with growing things, plants, trees that bear fruit and have seeds which grow again. Let there be flowers and grass." Can you imagine? First there was only dry brown ground. Then it turned into a beautiful garden filled with bright flowers, delicious fruit trees, and covered with soft grass. Yes, the whole earth was covered with green forests, meadows, and gardens. And God saw how good this was. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day of God's creation. God said, "Let there be lights in the sky to separate day from night. They shall shine in the sky to light the earth and to mark the days, the weeks, the months, and the seasons." And it was so. God made 2 great lights, the sun to shine by day and the moon to shine by night. But the moon was lonely all by himself in the night sky, and so the moon complained,
"It isn't fair that the sun is brighter than I am."
So the moon was given the stars for company. Now when you look at the night sky, you see thousands of twinkling stars shining from far, far away. And God saw how good this was. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day of God's creation. And God said, "Let the waters be filled with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth." So God created all the fish that swim in the waters, the tiny fish and the huge fish, hundreds and thousands and millions of them. The waters were swarming with every kind of fish. And God created the birds with their beautiful colors and sweet songs flying in the sky like a living rainbow. Have you seen the birds flying and singing in the sky and the fish gliding in the waters? Imagine how beautiful and graceful they are. God saw how good the fish and the birds were, and God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, have lots of babies, fill the waters and fill the skies." And there was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day of God's creation. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth every kind of living creature." And it was so. God made all the animals that live on the earth, the lion and the mouse, the squirrel and the hippopotamus, the ant and the rhinoceros, the lizard and the giraffe. Every kind of animal you can think of, God made. There were cows and sheep, dogs and cats, skunks and rats, all made by God. Which is your favorite kind of animal? God looked at all of the animals and saw that they were good. Then God said, "I will make man and woman. Yes, I will make woman and I will make man in my own image. They will take care of my fish, birds, and animals. They will take care of my trees and flowers. God made people out of the dust of the earth. God made them from the red dust, the black dust, the brown dust, and the yellow dust. God made them of many different colors, and God loved them all. God made a woman named Eve and a man named Adam, and God breathed life into them. So you see, we all come from the same mother and father. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply. Have many children, so they will fill the earth and take care of it. Eat my plants and the fruits from my trees, and I will give my green growing things for the animals to eat as well." Then all creation praised God. And God said, "This is good. This is very, very good. Man, woman, and child, all are good. The animals, the sun, moon, and stars, the plants, all are good. The whole earth is very, very good." And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day of God's creation. Now the heaven and earth were finished in all their beautiful array. So on the seventh day, God had no more work to do. Even God needs a rest. So God blessed the seventh day and called it Shabbat. Shabbat is our special holy day when we all rest and celebrate together to remember the seventh day of God's wondrous work of creation, the day when even God rested. So this is the story of the heaven and the earth as they were created. This is the story of God's creation, the world's very first birthday.
וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו, לעבדך באמת. וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו, לעבדך באמת. לה 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 לה, לה 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 לה, לה 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 לה. La 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 la, la 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 la. וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו, לעבדך באמת. וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו, לעבדך באמת. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
The shofar is a very ancient musical instrument, and it is made from the curved horn of a ram. We sound it on Rosh Hashana to help us feel how important the day is and to remind God to forgive us. In the synagogue, the Baal Tekiah is the person who sounds the shofar. First, he sings this blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar.
The shofar has 4 different sounds. The tekiah is long and strong. Tekiah. The shvarim are 3 sounds.
shvarim.
The teruah are 9 even shorter sounds.
Teruah.
And the tekiah gedolah is very, very long and very strong.
Tekiah gedolah.
The shofar, which is a very sacred instrument, has been sounded by the Jewish people all around the world for thousands and thousands of years.
Sing along song, come sing along. Sing along song with me. It'll make you smile when you sing for a while. Sing along song with me. Sing along song, come sing along. Sing along song with me. It'll make you smile if you sing for a while. Sing along song with me.
Rosh Hashana celebrates the birthday of the world. Apples and honey to sweeten the year of every girl and boy. All together now!
Sing along song, come sing along. Sing along song with me. It'll make you smile if you sing for a while. Sing along song with me.
Yom Kippur, a time when we can begin again. Go to someone we have heard and say, come let's be friends. All together now!
Sing along song, come sing along. Sing along song with me. It'll make you smile if you sing for a while.
Sing along song with me. One more time!
Sing along song, come sing along. Sing along song with me. It'll make you smile if you sing for a while. Sing along song, sing along song, sing along song with me.
King Solomon lived long, long ago in the land of Israel. It is said that he was so smart that he could understand what all the animals were saying. One morning, as he was walking in his garden, a rainbow-colored butterfly came flying by. "King Solomon, will you come and fly with me?"
Butterfly, thank you for inviting me on such a magical journey. But today I am very busy. It is almost Rosh Hashana, you know. That is our Jewish New Year, the birthday of the world. I want all the creatures in my garden to celebrate with me. Are you all getting ready?
Yes, yes.
Today we are making New Year's cards, some on trees' leaves, some on birds' feathers, and some on flowers' petals. No, Rabbit, don't eat that petal. It's a New Year's card. When I come back from temple on Rosh Hashana, we will have a feast in the garden to celebrate the world's birthday. We will dip challah in honey and apples in honey, eat honey cake, say the blessings, and ask our friends to forgive us if we ever hurt their feelings this year. Butterfly, you're invited too. You must wear your beautiful rainbow dress for the occasion.
Rosh Hashanah day arrived. King Solomon went to services in his beautiful temple. He heard the shofar being blown, and he prayed to be a good and kind king. Then he came back to his garden.
The feast is almost ready to begin. I will sit down and read the Torah here on my garden throne until the table is set. I prayed so hard at temple that now I'm feeling a little sleepy. Look how the feast table is sparkling. Soon we will be ready. Oh, God, just close my eyes just for a moment.
At the far end of the garden, a beehive nestled in a shady grove. A new baby bee had just been born, and he began to fly eagerly out of the hive, singing a song. "I'm a new baby bee, just as smart as I can be, and I will find the flower which is just right for me." But his mother called to him,
Stop, baby bee. You know nothing about the world. Please listen.
But the baby bee didn't listen at all. Instead, he just flew away singing his song. I'm a new baby bee, just as nice as I can be, and I'm looking for the flower which is just right for me. Oh, I am looking for the most beautiful flower in the garden, to be the very first flower that I will try. It will be the sweetest, the brightest, and the best, the very best of all the rest. As the baby bee flew around the garden, his loud buzzing could be heard everywhere. All the other creatures tried to tell him to be quiet.
Shh, shh. No. Be quiet. You'll wake up King Solomon. Shh, shh. No.
But the baby bee, who thought he knew so much, really didn't know anything at all. He thought they were all saying hello to him. Shh, shh. No. What a nice way to say hello. Shh, shh. No. Shh, shh. No. How friendly they all are. But which flower shall I choose? The red, the white, the pink, or the yellow? They are all so nice. Which one will be my very first flower? Oh, but look! There is a flower even more beautiful than all the rest. It surely is the very best. It is red and big and has little hairs coming out from the bottom of it. And it sings such a lovely song. Listen. I think the baby bee is about to make a very big mistake. He is flying closer and closer to the king's nose, and nobody can stop him. Uh-oh.
Look what he did. He stung the king's nose.
Ouch! Something woke me up. Something bit me on my royal nose. Who would dare to do this? All you flying, crawling, buzzing insects in the garden, come here to me right now.
Listen to all the insects. They are coming to stand before King Solomon. Hundreds of thousands and millions and trillions of them.
What does the king want? Why has he called us?
Silence! Which one of you has stung me on the nose? One of you has done this to my nose. Tell me who you are right now.
Who could it be? Is it you? It's not me.
The baby bee was hiding among all of the other insects. Do you think he would have the courage to stand up in front of all of them? In front of hundreds and thousands of insects? And in front of the king himself? To say that he was the one? I'm so afraid. But I must tell the truth. Your Majesty, it was me.
You, little bee? You did this to my nose? I'm very angry.
Oh, Your Majesty, please forgive me. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't know that it was your nose. I thought it was the most beautiful flower in the whole garden. Right, kids?
Right. You didn't know it.
So please forgive me, Your Majesty. I promise I'll never do it again.
You thought my nose was a flower? Well, baby bee, I must say you were very brave and honest to stand up in front of all of us. We all make mistakes, and on Rosh Hashana, we forgive our friends for anything they might have done to hurt us. You didn't know any better, little bee, and I know you'll try not to do it again.
Thank you, King Solomon. Thank you. I will go and tell my mommy we need our best honey for the feast, and I will bring it to share with you and all the animals in the garden.
Good, good. Come, everyone. Let us be seated for our New Year's feast. Cantor, would you come and lead us in the special prayers? We start with the Kiddush for Rosh Hashana. Let us all raise our wine cups.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
And now, let's dip the challah in honey and say the hamotzi. Oh, look what is under the challah cover. Not only the challah, but so many New Year's cards sent to me by the animals. What a great idea!
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
And now, it's time to sing the blessings over the apples and honey.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri ha'etz. Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu, שתחדש עלינו שנה טובה, שנה טובה ומתוקה. שתחדש עלינו שנה טובה, שנה טובה ומתוקה. יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, שתחדש עלינו שנה טובה, שנה טובה ומתוקה. שתחדש עלינו שנה טובה, שנה טובה ומתוקה. יהי רצון מלפניך.
And I have a special surprise for all of you. Here are pomegranates and other fruits that you haven't tasted yet this year. We just harvested them. Let us thank God for the new fruits. And all of you creatures of the garden, I want you to remember something. Just as our baby bee went to get the honey and started this year with a good deed, so should we all try to perform good deeds. Right, everyone?
Right!
Have a very happy New Year!
L'shana tova tikatevu, may we have a happy year. L'shana tova tikatevu, may this year bring us good cheer. L'shana tova, may we have a happy year. L'shana tova, may this year bring us good cheer. L'shana tova tikatevu, grant a year of joy and peace. L'shana tova tikatevu, may thy blessings never cease. L'shana tova, grant a year of joy and peace. L'shana tova, may thy blessings never cease.
לשנה טובה, תכתבו ותחתמו. לשנה טובה, תכתבו ותחתמו. לשנה טובה, לשנה טובה, לשנה טובה, תכתבו ותחתמו. לשנה טובה, תכתבו ותחתמו.
לשנה טובה, תיכתב ותחתמו. לשנה טובה,
תיכתב ותיחתם. לשנה טובה, לשנה טובה, לשנה טובה, לשנה טובה, תיכתב ותיחתם. לשנה טובה, לשנה טובה, תיכתב ותיחתם.
Children, we just talked about the holiday of Rosh Hashana. That is the day when we remember all the good and the bad things that we did during the year. Now comes the holiday of Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the day of forgiveness. We forgive our friends, and God forgives us. Yom Kippur is the most important and serious holiday of the Jewish year. We pray in the synagogue all day long, and we ask God to forgive us for all the wrong things that we did. On the evening of Yom Kippur, we eat before going to the synagogue, because a grown-up will not eat or drink anything until Yom Kippur is over. That is called fasting, and you can try to fast a little too. Yom Kippur comes 10 days after Rosh Hashanah. We try to do as many good deeds as we can between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, so God will inscribe us for a happy and sweet year.
מלכנו, חננו בנינו. אבינו מלכנו, חננו בנינו, כי אין בנו מעשים. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד, עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד והושיענו. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד, עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד והושיענו. אבינו מלכנו, חננו בנינו. אבינו מלכנו, חננו בנינו, כי אין בנו מעשים. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד, עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד והושיענו.
Jonah is the story we always tell on Yom Kippur because it is about someone who is sorry. You see, Jonah was a wise man, or at least he thought so.
I am very wise. That means smart. That means I know almost everything, which is a lot. If anyone wants to know something, they should ask me, because I'll probably have the answer.
Children, let's see if Jonah was really as smart as he thought he was. One night while Jonah was sleeping, he had a dream, and in the dream, he thought he heard the voice of God talking to him.
Jonah! Jonah!
And Jonah answered,
What? Who is calling me? I'll look all around my room to see if anybody is here. Nope, not under the bed. And there's nobody in the closet either. I guess I was just dreaming.
So Jonah went back to sleep. But no sooner had he closed his eyes when he heard the voice again.
Jonah! Jonah!
Who is it?
This is the Lord your God calling you. I have a job for you, Jonah. Go talk to the people of Nineveh that city far away. Those people do not know how to be good. They are always hurting and hitting each other. Tell them that God has seen what they are doing. Tell them that they must change their ways. Teach them to lead good lives, Jonah.
And that was the end of the dream. In the morning when Jonah woke up, he didn't feel well at all.
I had a terrible sleep. And what a dream! God spoke to me, telling me to go to the city of Nineveh. Well, do you know what I think? No, I don't want to go. What shall I do? Nineveh is so far away, and the people would be angry if I told them they were not behaving well. I must find a way to get away. I must run away from God. I know what I'll do. I've just had a very good idea. I'll go to the ocean and get on a boat. Then I'll sail far away across the ocean, where God will never find me. Then I won't have to go to Nineveh.
Do you think that Jonah could run away from God, children? Well, that's what he tried to do. He went down to the water and found a big boat. The captain of the boat and all the sailors who were from many different countries allowed Jonah to be their passenger. They were good and generous men. For many days, they sailed on the calm blue ocean, under bright and sunny skies. Jonah was pleased.
You see? I did it. I ran away from God. Now I am on a pleasant ocean cruise, and not talking to those mean people in Nineveh. Look how the sun is shining over the water, and how blue the sky is. I'm having so much fun.
But one day, the weather changed. Instead of calm blue skies, there were dark clouds. The wind began to blow. The water was getting rough, and tall waves tossed the boat higher and higher. The sailors were running to their stations crying, "A storm! A storm is coming, and it looks like a big one!" Yes, the storm was beginning to get worse. The winds were blowing strong and hard. Rain began to fall. The waves washed over the boat, and the sailors were scared. They began to pray to God in many different languages, but no amount of praying seemed to help them. Finally, Jonah spoke up.
My friends, I am sure this storm is because of me. I tried to run away from God, but now I realize that is not possible. God is everywhere. Throw me into the water. Then the storm will probably stop.
But the sailors all cried, "No, no, we can't do that, Jonah. You would drown." Then they had an idea. They tied ropes around Jonah's waist and lowered him into the water just up to his knees. As soon as Jonah's legs were in the cold, dark water, the storm stopped. The sun began to come out from behind the clouds. So the sailors pulled Jonah back into the boat. But as soon as Jonah's feet touched the deck, the storm began again, even worse than before.
My friends, I know you are trying to save my life, but it is no use. God will not take away the storm until I remain in the water. Thank you for trying to save me, but now you must throw me in the water.
So, feeling sorry for what they had to do, the sailors threw Jonah into the ocean. "Goodbye, sir, and good luck. May your God protect you." As soon as Jonah was in the water, the storm cleared away and stopped. The sailors were safe. But Jonah was in the dark, cold water.
I'll just keep on swimming until I get tired. I've been swimming for a long, long time. Soon I think I'll have to stop. Wait, I see something big and black is sticking out of the water. It looks like an island. I am saved. I will swim to the island and find dry land, and then I won't have to be in this water anymore. But that's strange. I never saw an island with teeth before. That does look like teeth. This island is going to swallow me.
Children, do you know what happened to Jonah? He was swallowed up by a huge whale. Now, do you think it was fun inside of the stomach of the whale? No, it was not. It was dark and wet. Jonah stayed inside of that whale's stomach not just for 1 day. Oh, no, not even for 2 days, but for 1, 2, 3 whole days. That is a long time to be inside of the stomach of a whale. While he was there, Jonah had a lot of time to think.
If I ever get out of this whale, I will do what God told me. I'll go to the city of Nineveh and tell those people how to live good lives. They don't know how to share, and they are mean to each other. They should all learn to say they are sorry and to change into good ways. I will help them to do it.
So Jonah sat and thought for a long time. He prayed to God to forgive him, and he was truly sorry for running away. He was ready to do the job that God had given him to help the people of Nineveh. At the end of 3 days, the whale had a terrible stomachache. Ooh! That whale didn't feel good at all. He tried swimming faster. He tried swimming slower, but nothing helped. Oh! Then the whale thought,
I have to burp. I have to burp a big, huge burp.
Do you know what, children? That whale burped the biggest burp ever heard in the world. It sounded like thousands of people burping together at the same time. Jonah was thrown out of the whale's mouth along with a lot of water and fish. He sailed through the air and landed on dry land. As soon as Jonah saw that he was saved from the whale, he knew what to do.
I will remember my promise to God. I am truly sorry for not wanting to do the right thing. I'll go to Nineveh immediately. Look, here is a sign. It says Nineveh 5 miles. I'll not even stop to dry off, comb my hair, or take a bath. No, I will go to Nineveh right away.
So Jonah walked and walked in the hot sun, and he didn't stop until he reached Nineveh.
I look so messy. I've been in the whale for 3 days and 3 nights, and I smell like old fish.
But even though he looked terrible, the people listened to Jonah right away. Yes, there was something about Jonah's voice that made them want to listen, and made them want to stop doing bad things and start doing good things. We will be kind to each other from now on, they all promised. Oh God, we are so sorry for doing wrong. Please forgive us. Even the king of Nineveh took off his royal crown and his royal robes and came down from his throne. He prayed on the ground for God to forgive him. The grown-ups and even the children of Nineveh all told God they were sorry. They made friends with each other and forgave each other. Even the animals were sorry for doing wrong. The cows mooed, the horses neighed, the donkeys brayed, the cats meowed, the dogs barked, and even the little mice squeaked. What do you think they were all saying? They were telling God they were sorry and now wanted to be good. The king of Nineveh, the people, and the animals fasted. They didn't eat anything for a whole day to show how sorry they were. And God forgave them. From that time on, they were kind to each other. The people helped each other and shared. The dogs and cats didn't fight. The mice didn't steal food. Nineveh was a good place now. Everyone thanked Jonah for bringing God's message. "You did a good job, Jonah." And Jonah answered,
Our salvation is with the Lord our God. God is forgiving, and God's blessings are upon all of us. Let us have a very happy New Year together, my dear friends. A year of peace and friendship.
Children, do you remember things that you did this year that you wished you had not done?
I didn't listen to my mother when she told me to put the toys away, and then I tripped on them and fell.
I was mean to my little brother Joseph and hid his toy.
I pushed Sarah, my friend, when she rode on her bike.
Thank you, children. We all make mistakes, and on Rosh Hashana, we think about them and ask our friends to forgive us. We also pray to God to forgive us. Do you remember nice things that you did? Do you remember times that you were helpful to others?
I shared my toys with my friend Daniela.
I helped my mommy with the dishes.
I gave my old toys to the poor children.
Good children. We all do many good things, good deeds. We call them mitzvot. On Yom Kippur, we try to make the new year better than the last one by deciding to do more mitzvot, good deeds in the coming year.
אל תכה, זה לא נאה, תן לי יד ועוד אחת, חברים טובים נהיה, חברים טובים נהיה, חברים טובים נהיה, חברים טובים נהיה. Don't hit me, it's not so nice. Give me your hand, instead we'll dance. We'll be good friends all year long. We'll be good friends all year long. We'll be good friends all year long. We'll be good friends all year long.
On the evening of Yom Kippur, Rachel and her family were eating the last meal before the fast. Rachel's daddy had something important to tell her.
Rachel, we're going to the temple for the Kol Nidre tonight. And tomorrow, we'll go back to pray all day. Rachel, I know you don't understand Hebrew yet, but you can try to make your own prayers to God, especially for Grandpa, who is very ill.
I'll try, Daddy. I'll try with my whole heart.
So they went to the synagogue. The service was very long, and many prayers were in Hebrew, the language of the Jewish people. Rachel could not understand the prayers, and she didn't know how to say them. Then she heard the beautiful Yom Kippur prayer called the Kol Nidre. The cantor made it sound both sad and happy.
Behold, accept our forgiveness.
Rachel felt tears in her eyes from hearing the beautiful Kol Nidre. The next morning they went back to pray in the synagogue. Now it was the day of Yom Kippur. Everybody was serious and quiet. Rachel tried so hard to pray. She thought a lot about Grandpa and tried to talk to God.
Dear God, I don't know the real prayers, but I do want Grandpa to feel better. I know I'm not doing it right. How will I learn to pray?
Rachel wanted to ask Mommy and Daddy, but they were sitting so still with their eyes closed, she didn't want to disturb them. Then Daddy smiled at her and whispered,
"You're a good girl, Rachel. You're praying so nicely."
After a long time, the Yom Kippur service was almost over. The cantor was getting ready to blow the shofar, the only time that the shofar is blown on Yom Kippur to mark the end of praying. As the cantor lifted the shofar to his lips, everyone waited anxiously, for this was one of the most important moments in the service. The cantor put the shofar to his mouth and took a deep breath. But when he blew, no sound came out. There was a gasp from all the people.
"Oh, no! What happened?"
It's terrible. Why didn't the shofar blow?
Maybe God won't give us a blessing for the new year.
The cantor tried and tried to blow, but again there was no sound coming from the shofar. Then the rabbi spoke to all the people in the synagogue.
Everyone, pray with me for the shofar to sound, for God's forgiveness.
Rachel was trying so hard, she felt really desperate. Then suddenly she smiled.
I think I know what to do. Dear God, I don't know the real prayer, but I do know my ABC. I'll sing my ABC, and you could take my letters and turn them into words, and you could take my words and turn them into sentences, and you could take the sentences and turn them into the most beautiful prayer. I think I'll start right now. A, B, C, C.
While Rachel was saying the ABCs, the cantor got ready to blow the shofar.
Adonai hu ha-Elohim. Adonai is our God. Tekiah Gedolah.
He blew a wonderful long blast. Everyone sighed with relief.
Thank God.
Our prayer have been heard.
We will have a good year.
Yom Kippur services were over, and the rabbi stepped down from the bima. Rachel saw that the rabbi was walking towards her.
I wonder why the rabbi's walking towards me. I guess he wants to say Shana Tova to my mommy and daddy. I move away so he can pass.
Wait, Rachel, don't move away. I came to speak to you.
Who? Me?
I heard your wonderful ABC prayer, and I'm so proud of you, Rachel. It was a prayer from your heart. Because of your prayer, the gates of heaven opened up and the sound of our shofar blew right through. Now I know we'll all have a truly good year. Thank you, Rachel.
Everybody smiled at Rachel, and Daddy and Mommy gave her a big hug. Then Rachel said,
Oh, Mommy and Daddy, I'm so glad. Now I know. Kids could have their own prayer, too.
Shalom, children. Shana Tova. And we'll meet you again on the Sukkot tape.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.